everybody, welcome back to Mass Effect Andromeda Week. Picking up where we left off, Eye is now open to us, so now we get to fully explore everything. Now I think there's a mission that we get here, but well, maybe not. Cargo manifest, 3 case solar heater, 4 cases freeze-dried nutrient paste, 3 unmarked cases of Marla bottles, cast dates unknown. Okay. Well, maybe it's later. Going. My love, I never planned to leave. Each moment I spent with you only brought me joy. Even though you've never understood what you mean to me, there were moments I could have shown you how I really feel, but I wasn't brave enough. Now that you could have accepted... Not that you could have accepted me. Now I have to go and I don't think I'm coming back. I hope for a day when we owe nothing to anyone. I dream of a moment when we find each other again and claim the lives we always should have led. Okay, that's weird. I feel like that may have more impact if we knew any context of it. Oh, there it is. That. I could have swore that we got some mission from somebody in here, but maybe that's something that unlocks later. Let's see what we got here. Aya Information Bulletin. Vold's people desperately need basic supplies. If your family can spare nutrient paste, unused clothing, outdoor survival gear, machine parts, tools, extra weapons, and ammunition, it could make the difference between life and death for those resisting the Ket conquest. Place donated items in the nearest Victory Drive station of your residential complex. And Moshae Cepha has returned. The rumors are true. Our beloved Moshae Cepha has been rescued from the Ket by brave members of the Resistance, aided by the Milky Way visitors. The Moshae is recovering and in good spirits. I feel like that's the other way around, like they were rescued by us with aid from the Resistance, but I'm not going to nitpick, it's their planet. You may see unusual visitors on Aya in the days ahead. Don't be alarmed, they're here as guests. Remain vigilant and report suspicious activity to Aya security, but do not attempt to confront or restrain anyone yourself. Recent victories on Vold have spurred renewed public interest in joining the Resistance. Volunteer sign-ups increased 500% over last year. Aphra encourages everyone, regardless of age, talents, or experience, to submit to a Resistance recruitment screening. Archaeologists working at a dig site on Navarro's unsettled southern continent were forced to abandon their camp when a freak tendril of Scourge energy pierced the atmosphere above the location. No injuries were reported, but the team leader stated that the group lost years of research in the event. Cargo ship and transport vessel crews are reminded that Kadara Port remains a high-risk travel zone. No official business has been sanctioned with the deserters, and contact with the Milky Way immigrants living on Kadara is strongly discouraged. Looking for a level 7 starship engineer, experience repairing and maintaining Varsted thrusters is required. Will work for extended travel periods lasting up to 6 weeks or more. Basic zero-gravity combat training preferred, but can be learned on the job. Meal prep skills and an engaging conversation style a plus. Must be clean. That's a weird requirement for a job, but alright, you know, whatever. Okay, can I... Team of artists from each of our home worlds, Aya, Vold, and Navarro, work together to create this mural. It depicts the centuries of hardship we endured as a result of the Scourge, but also the reunion of our people to build a strong, resilient society. I'm assuming those things underneath are people, because it's made by, or like specific people, because if it's made by 3 artists from 3 different planets, but there's 5 Angara up there, I have to assume that those 5 Angara were important in some way, and not just to a specific planet. I guess more than one could have been from the same planet, but you know. Okay. Now, I know that there's quite a few quests that we can have on here. Ooh, what is this one? Memorial Garden. We rose from nothing to touch the stars, made homes on many worlds. Do not mourn for what the Ket stole from us. Celebrate what still remains. All things reach their end and make way for new life, to fill the void. The worlds and people we lose will return in time. Family grows forever. We dedicate this garden to those who are not here with us, but who will one day return. This place is for them.
This is my first visit to Aya.
Thought? See anybody over here. Now I do have obviously my compass at the top that will tell me, and I know that up, I don't know, over there somewhere is either the, that's another fast travel. I think you may actually have to, yeah, you actually have to use the fast travel stations and unlock them. You can't just like map fast travel here for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like that has to be something to do with the way that the place is like programmed or built or something, but I don't see how using a terminal would change that.
Ryder.
I'm not selling to aliens.
Alright, fine. The Cat have felt the power of the resistance and they know their end is coming. Our victories on Bold are only the beginning of what we can achieve, but we can't defeat the enemy without your help. If you're tired of living in fear, if you believe we were meant for something greater than slavery, if you're willing to stand up and fight, you'll find a new family in the resistance. We'll train you to strike back at the Cat and reclaim what is ours. Can I talk about
When
it?
trouble comes calling, will you be ready? Buy my armor.
Doing okay?
Who knew saving a respected member of Angaran society would open so many doors? I've been talking to some of their
When
traders.
trouble
seeing
comes
if we can
calling,
work
will you be
things out.
ready? Buy my armor.
I know you like looking for the advantage, but we need to earn their trust first. Don't bargain too hard.
You're the boss.
New clientele is always welcome here. Have a look. I'm sure you'll find something to your taste.
Can't hurt to be prepared. Maybe you've got something I'm looking for.
If I don't today, I will tomorrow.
I doubt that. The only reason I'm even checking is basically for special items. Because in reality, the odds of him actually having anything that I care about is like 0, basically. It's like I make my own armor, I make my own weapons. Ooh, do you have any platinum? You're a materials merchant.
They let you pass the gates. Huh.
It's an honor, and I understand that. I'll be respectful.
All right. Everyone deserves a chance to prove themselves.
Alright, what do you got? Oh, you have that too. Alright. No special items. Element 0. Ah, look at that. You do have platinum. Only 10, but that's enough for at least 1 upgrade. It's good enough for me. I've also decided just to sell anything, like all my weapons and shit, that I don't plan on using. I'm just going to sell them for credits because it's easier to just buy them than to like break them down, because when I break stuff down I end up with a lot of shit that I just don't need. So I've just basically been selling everything instead of worrying about it.
Vestaran? I was there when you landed. Watched you get escorted through the city.
Bet that was a sight.
You were an unexpected outsider. Not really a laughing matter.
I've never seen fruit like this before. What are these?
Paripo. Sweet with a little bite. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I have a few Kiloa or Elmok.
Is fruit scarce here?
In this form, yes. Very expensive. If you buy a Paripo from me, it means you have something to celebrate. It's a luxury, meant to be shared with friends and family.
I'll get moving.
That does, I do believe, come into play later. I think that might be part of the movie night quest.
It would be wise to speak to me before engaging in trade.
I see the news. Your credits are as good as anyone else's. Don't start any trouble and we're fine.
I'll be the poster child for no trouble.
Whatever that means, it'll do.
Alright, what do you got? Oh, you have, oh, Remnant Fighter model. There we go. We got that. Something. Oh, you also have minerals, but you just have shit minerals. Apparently just the, because I couldn't get anybody to sell me platinum beforehand either. Now, somebody said that'd be better to talk to them before doing any trading, so probably this chick.
I never thought I'd see the Moshae again, least of all thanks to you. Welcome to the marketplace. I am Arbiter Renhoff. I enforce correct contact between merchants and customers, resolving any disputes. As the first outsider to enter the city, you are ignorant of our laws. We should change that.
Where I'm from, the biggest trade law is don't cheat. Is it different here?
I suspect we define cheating differently. What is unfair changes based on perspective.
Who decides what happens to people who break the law?
It depends on the grievance. I settle minor offenses right here. More serious ones require a tribunal.
I don't want to cause any trouble. How do I learn your laws?
I'll transmit a full readout. Familiarize yourself with the contents. Personal responsibility is a core foundation of our society. We expect it from everyone.
Understood.
Please visit my colleagues in the Governor's office and the Resistance headquarters. They'll teach you about our culture and what it means to walk freely among us. Your understanding is critical. It would be unfortunate if you accidentally violated our laws.
Yup, just a little bit. Okay. I mean, we were supposed to talk to her because, like, obviously I came and went up that way and around, but if you come this way, she will stop. Well, she doesn't stop you, but, you know, her little, oh, you should talk to me before trying any trading makes a lot more sense than, you know, after you've already talked to, like, most of the merchants. I think we may even have to deal with that other merchant at some point who refuses to trade with aliens, but that I'm not 100% on. But yeah, this is the governor's office. I think our embassy is back here. Nope. Maybe our embassy is in the other place then. I don't know. Council meeting notes. V wants to open Southern Valley region to development with goal to provide refugees with permanent homes. K believes we're already at risk of overcrowding and harming local ecosystem. Votes to use land strictly for food production. M proposes compromise solution to construct orbital habitats using Nexus technology. Refugees would rotate between Aya surface and orbital habitats using lottery system. E disagrees with accepting initiative help and especially tech. Points out the black hole will make orbital construction projects difficult and may attract notice of cat patrols. Final vote delayed by Novo Abav. We need a better home for our people. Vold is fallen. Havaro remains unstable, and Aya is too small to support all of us. Is Kadara port an option? Do we even dare attempt reconciliation? So yeah, like, there's a lot of people, and they're having issue finding places for them.
When I first escorted you through our city, I wasn't sure it was the right thing, but you proved I was wrong to doubt. No. More than that, you didn't have to save the captives from exaltation. I wonder if you realize what that meant to us.
I mean, I would never say that you were wrong to doubt. I mean, if you didn't doubt us, that, especially since what happened with the cat, that would have been insanely strange. Like, you'd be the most naive species ever.
We're in this together. The initiative wants to help.
I want to believe it. You're so different from the cat. What can I do for you?
I have a few questions about your culture.
I'm happy to answer them.
Don't take this the wrong way, but this isn't your only city, right?
Not at all. Vold and Havaro both have several large population centers. Aya has numerous residential areas similar to this.
Are these places open for visitors?
In time, perhaps.
Aya seems important to the Angara.
Aya is paradise. This world is a gift. We created the Vassals so everyone could enjoy this place, if only for a short time.
The Vassal?
The time of change. Aya's resources are too limited for our entire population to live here. We each earn the privilege of spending a few years on Aya. When our time is up, we leave to make room for someone new. The cycle repeats throughout our lives.
Will you have to leave?
Someday. For now, Aya needs me.
I've noticed that you, Aphra, and Jal all speak with different accents.
When the Scourge first struck, there were many Angaran worlds. They were separated for centuries. We developed divergent cultures and dialects. Aphra was born on Vold, and Jal is from Havaro.
What about you?
The cat left my homeworld in ruins. Those who survived were forced to flee. We found a refuge on Aya. My family helped settle this world.
I'm hoping you can get me on Aphra's good side.
If I knew how to do that, my job would be much simpler.
Sometimes it seems like you two don't get along at all. And other times...
He's a brilliant tactician and inspiring leader. We just disagree on what's best for our people. He believes secrecy and isolation keep us safe.
What do you believe?
We can't defeat the cat alone. And neither can your initiative.
Your people revere the Moshae. What did she do to earn that?
After the Scourge, our civilization was in ruins. Those who led the rebuilding were thinkers, experts and inventors. The Moshae is the greatest scientific mind of our generation. She led us to a new age of technological innovation. When the Ket attacked, she studied their technology, learned their tactics.
You owe your survival to her.
We owe her everything, and we'll do anything to protect her.
So, what do you do for fun around here?
The Tavatan is a popular spot for recreational activity.
Right, but what do you do? Can't work all the time.
Productivity is the best form of relaxation.
It's also a great way to get stressed out.
You sound like my brothers. All 10 of them.
10?
And 8 sisters. They're not allowed to bother me at work.
10 brothers and 8 sisters. You have a big family.
I've always thought of it as average. How many siblings do you have?
Just one. My sister, Sarah.
What happened to the others?
Our parents only had 2 children. Underachievers.
That sounds relaxing. When my family gets together, the noise is like standing next to our largest waterfall. My mother says I became governor, so people would have to listen to me.
Is she right?
Always.
So here's the thing, right? Like, because it's easy to say that, you know, same with places in real life, right? It's like the reason why you're having all these overpopulation things and that is because you have like 18 kids, right? But once again, the way that their families are structured are weird because they call people brothers and sisters who aren't necessarily like what we would consider a brother and sister, right? Like we would consider them cousins, they call them brother and sister. Same with like, oh, we have multiple mothers. It's like, but only one of them actually gave birth to them. But once again, we also don't know exactly how their reproductive cycle works. For all we know, they reproduce like fish and lay like 20 eggs that get fertilized, and like they're like other animals that have like a litter of them at a time, and it's just their biology to have that many. So like that's once again, if I was ever to meet an alien race, I feel like reproduction is probably one of the most important things you could learn about that race, because that would really determine so many things, right? Like probably one of the reasons why they can even stand up or why they've lasted against the Ket as much as they have is because of that reproductive cycle. And if we managed to get rid of the Ket and the threat and like the number of deaths because of that would go down a huge amount, right? Because it was the same problem with the Krogan, right? The Krogan reproduced so fucking fast that they were taking over the galaxy, right? And like there could very well be a similar issue with the Angara if like the Ket go away and then there's so many less of them dying, you know?
What's it like being responsible for a whole planet?
I suspect it's like being the Pathfinder. Some days it's a burden. Most of the time, I know I'm where I should be.
How did you become governor? Do your people elect leaders by popular vote?
If by vote, you mean argue loudly until one candidate remains, then yes. I got here because I was willing to endure and fight for the obligations that come with my office.
I sense tension between your government and the Resistance. Who's actually in charge?
Ephra likes giving orders, right until the actual work of running a city starts. The Resistance is good at protecting us from the Ket, but our people need more. I've learned to indulge Ephra's need for control, just often enough to maintain my own.
I'm going to do this one because I have a feeling that she shoots you down hard, and it's funny.
Is there time in your busy schedule to meet someone special?
Everyone is special to me, in their own way.
Not what I meant.
Oh. No, that isn't a priority right now. Someday, maybe.
Well, all right. It wasn't very funny, but she
Thanks
does
for your
shoot you
time.
down.
You
I really
shot
like
at
their
Pathfinder.
eyes. But like I said before, I don't know if like I ever met one in real life, because I mean like they are very pretty creatures, like for the most part. But like I said, they look really weird. At the same time, like
Arbiter Renav told me to expect you. I prepared a datapad detailing our laws. Read it fully.
as defined by the first founders of Aya, this world and all who live on it agree to abide by the laws, customs, and regulations of a civilized society that has existed for centuries in other worlds. These rules of conduct ensure a voice for each family within our society and gives them certain and viable rights. Page 1 of 5,983. Jesus Christ. I'm so glad that, I would not have read that.
Pathfinder, I'm Enro Bosan, assistant to the governor. As you can imagine, your arrival raised concerns from Aya's people.
It'll take a long time to trust strangers again.
Which is why they want the Nexus to listen to them. We've set up terminals in the city so people can leave messages for your people on the Nexus. I'd appreciate if you take a look and forward their communications to your people.
Oh, okay. I remember this quest. Because I do believe that this quest here is one where we actually get to be a censor. Like, we can take this and choose whether or not to forward everything. Now, unfortunately, I do believe that this is more of an all or nothing type deal. Like, I don't think that it's like, oh, censor this particular comment or question or something. I think it is literally like, do you want to send all of these or do you want to send none of these? But we'll see here. Potluck citizens messages upon uploaded to the Talvatan. Yeah, whatever. Okay, here we go. Edit content. See, but you don't get to choose like what you edit or anything. God, there's so many. Oh, God. Alright, so anyway. Let there be unity. Before the Scourge and Gar were one people. It took centuries after that disaster to find each other again, and by then we'd been divided too long. That's how the Ket were able to conquer us. The war forced us back together, but now you've upset the balance. Some don't trust you, others want you to save us. Divisions are forming, and you're really here to help. Keep our people united. Or if you're really here to help. I'm writing this in my final days. I've lived a long life that now comes to its natural end. I've known great loss and pain, but also joy and hope. I think we have that in common. My fate is to leave at a turning point in history. Part of me is angry. I won't see what happens next, but I've made my peace. Whatever becomes of your people, mine, and the Ket will reverberate into the lives of my great-grandchildren, and that gives me strange comfort. I know there's more to this life than war and hardship. I've seen enough to know your people understand that too. Be well, take care of each other, change life for the better, goodbye. Don't be deceived by the posturing Ephra. Hang on a second. Okay, anyway. Don't be deceived by the posture of Ephra and his resistance. We are not a violent people. We're scientists, inventors, artists, caretakers, and explorers. This is our home, but there isn't room enough for us all. We told the Ket the same thing, but they didn't listen. We hope you do. This message will never be read by the Pathfinder, much less reach the Nexus. We're so desperate for allies against the Ket that we're willing to make the same mistake with new aliens. This little stunt by the governor won't change anything. We may as well be screaming into the wind. See, now that's one, like, because I do believe that there's only two real outcomes to this, which doesn't really amount to much anyway. It's literally just an email you get. And if you edit any of them, you get a different email than if you edit none of them. But, like, even if you edit only one, it's still the same email as if you edited them all. And I remember that last one there may have been the one, because like when I did this the first time, I do believe that I tried to edit it, but when I hit edit, it just was like, all right, so and you don't know what he edited, you know. Let's see. I remember the first time I met the Moshae. It was one of the greatest moments of my life. She has done so much for our people. When the rumors began that she'd been caught by the Ket and worse, killed, I lost hope for our future. You restored it. I don't care what anyone says. I believe you came to save us. This is not your galaxy. You don't belong here. Anyone who thinks you're different from the Ket is a fool. I see you for what you are, and there are many more like me. If you come in peace and friendship, Pavoa. If your hearts are filled with deceit, you will die. That is all you need to know. My name is Vodka. My family said I could write to you. I've never met an alien before, but I'd like to meet you. I think we can be friends. So, like, right, like this one here, the subject that says go home, once again, that would be one that I would technically edit because that does nothing, right? Like, all that is, like, like, that doesn't add to any kind of a conversation, right? Like, all that is would be the equivalent of somebody, well, you know, in real life telling somebody go home, they don't belong in the country, right? Let's see, that one's 90. I think this one is the first one that we went to, or the first one where we actually like read the messages that were on it. But yeah, like I said, when you hit edit, you don't actually know what you edited because it just does it. Also, what was that? Oh, just that again. I think there's a few of those laying around. There's no real point to reading any more of them. Ugh. What impulse drove your people to cross dark space? What have you come here for? Do you expect us to believe you're just explorers who want to live in peace? I think you fled something terrible. I think it might follow you here. It won't follow us here, but we were fleeing something terrible. But at the same time, nobody in the initiative knows that. So, which one of your species actually controls the so-called initiative? Are you even different species or just genetic constructs customized to fill different roles? Why do you all walk on two legs like us? Is it so we'd accept you? What did you look like before you crossed dark space? I mean, those are solid questions. When I heard you were granted permission to land on Havarl, I filed a complaint with Governor Shi. That world is one of our most sacred places, and it is not for outsiders. Oh, no, never mind. Even the Ket keep their distance because they know we'll fight to the death to protect it. Anyone who defiles Havarl will face consequences. Also, the reason I stopped is because I looked over at the screen and I thought that my screen had froze on a different message board, but no, it's the same one. You built ships to travel across dark space. Show us how to make them and let us retrace your path. There are no Ket where you came from. We have a generation facing extinction, but you could help us go where the enemy won't follow. We've suffered enough. Give us hope for a better life. I mean, once again, there are other enemies that you could find there. And if they did, I'm not against them doing that, you know. Like if they wanted to and we had the ability to send like a small group. But once again, it took us 600 years to get here. So, and if all we sent were Angara, they would arrive with all this initiative tech that they had sent how many, like 100,000 colonists with this tech, right? And then the Angara show up with the same tech by themselves. They're going to just assume that they killed us and took it, right?
Exaltation is just another word for how the Ket kill us.
And if you're wrong? If we've been killing for them without realizing it?
I saw a Ket up close when they attacked. It was nothing like our people.
The Ket weaponize their victims to make you hesitate.
And when the Ket begin to exalt your people, what will you do then?
Thank you for that. Insight, Pathfinder. The issue facing us is complex. Come, my friends. Deliberate with me.
Shit, and I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, right. So, like, not only would we have to get some Angarans to agree to do it, we would also then have to send some of our own initiative members back with them. So when they arrive, they don't just immediately get or be seen as hostile creatures who killed everybody in the initiative and took their tech, right? So I think this is just another exit from the governor's office. I'll take a quick peek up here just to make sure. Yeah, that's the you know what? Just to double check. Yeah, okay, good. Ugh. Like I said, next two parts, because like this part's probably all going to be Aya, and then the next part we're going to be going back to the Nexus and whatnot. So I did that one, and then we have... I actually don't know what this building is. What is this one? This might just be a door to another, yeah. Ah, here's the bar. Or one of the, oh no, okay, yeah. So this is like the seating area and like the bar is up there. I'm not sure if there's anybody down here to talk to. Does not seem like it. I think I can still scan, can't I? Yes. But I'm just gonna rely on my scanner to ping if something is nearby for me to scan, like that. Like the nutrient paste.
Welcome to the Taverton. Feel free to order a drink, or if you're hungry, we have nutrient paste. Not as exciting as fresh fruit, but you'll like it.
What's in that stuff?
In short, everything. Nearly all the food we grow goes straight into processing. We can feed an entire planet in a single harvest. Even ship some off-world.
How do you stretch your food that far?
It's complicated. Hard to explain without going into lengthy detail. But I'd be happy to send some to your ship, along with my process notes.
The Nexus would love that.
Consider it done.
What does Taverton mean? My translator won't pick it up.
It depends on the context. If it's a person, it means an old friend. If it's a location, like this, it's more a place you could bring someone home to.
What if you need to meet your Taverton at the Taverton?
It's not so hard to understand. I'm sure your language has its quirks.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
I'd like a drink.
No, alright.
That's
Now,
all
I
for
don't
now.
know if you
Come
can
back anytime.
stand there and just keep drinking. Like, I don't know what the drink is, like if it's alcohol, like some form of alcohol or something, but...
Real change in tone after that care facility. Half the Angara are thankful, half are even more suspicious.
Let's try not to make it worse.
Don't worry about me. They're busy glaring at Cora for some reason.
Let me tell you about Redcon. Helping the Moshae opened a lot of doors around here. Most Angara still keep their distance, though.
Well, you are a bit of an eyesore.
Speak for yourself. When I saw my first human, I couldn't understand how you keep your blood inside. Skin that thin.
It's one nice thing about the Krogan is they're all good. Like, you can always poke at them, and they just don't care, you know? Like, they have zero issues with you poking at them like that. They will just poke right back. Okay, so we can go through the door there, and then the museum is there, and then there's a back way on the other side. So let's check out the back way. Because, like, I don't remember where... Like, obviously there's no missions over there because there's no blue exclamation little points there, which is good. But I do believe that there is... But that might not be actually until the embassy opens up. I think that there's some stuff that... Or a couple of missions. Fucking PB drunk.
Getting acquainted with our new neighbors?
Sort of. All this stuff. The Angara sure do have a rich culture and blah, blah, blah.
You're sauced, aren't you? What's your poison?
I visited that cafe the Angara consider a bar. Asked for their hardest stuff. It was weird, which I like, but had almost no punch. Lightweight. Whoa.
Steady now.
That stuff must have a slow absorption rate. Whoops. Oh, writer. It's just... This museum reminds me of being on Haitiana during my indentured service as a student. They even have a whole section on the Remnant. I didn't come to Andromeda to follow in someone else's footsteps.
Don't worry, PB. The Angara barely have a foothold. Sure, they live among the ruins, but they haven't seen what we've already seen.
You might have a point there. Bet nobody here has ever outrun an ancient vault purification field, huh?
Nope.
Or spat in that Archon's ugly mug and lived to talk about it? That was nice work, by the way.
Thank you.
You're right. Not sure why, but ever since I packed up my apartment on the Nexus, something's crawled under my skin. But whatever it is, I promise, I'll get over it lickety-split.
You're fine, PB. We all need to cut loose once in a while.
That's awfully understanding of you, Ryder. You're a good egg. Think I'll stay in your operation a little while longer.
Alright. Though we don't know much about the Remnant or its creators, we've determined the Remnant were present in Helios long before our people. The Remnant's purpose appears to be the same as the planetary vaults, to transform our world into a thriving, beautiful paradise. Before the arrival of Pathfinder Ryder in Revolution 826, modern attempts to interact with the Remnant had been unsuccessful. But we've been able to coexist with them peacefully here on Aya. So that, I'm assuming Revolution 826 means year 826, but I don't know if that means like on Aya, if that's more of like a galaxy calendar or what. Can PB? No. PB is not available to talk. Though we know little about our pre-Scourge ancestors, evidence points to a grand multi-planet society with sophisticated technology. Many recent discoveries indicate our ancestors were even traveled vast distances between systems, though we have no way of knowing for sure. Most scholars theorize our people's early success was due to the use of remnant technology. Same as pretty much everybody in the Milky Way. They found alien technology and managed to use it.
Avela thinks it's an ancient deity.
Something about it calls to me, like a friend. I've heard so much about you. Is it true you entered a vault on Eos?
Sure is.
Amazing. I would have liked to see that.
Are you a relic hunter like Avela?
Actually, I started as an engineer. The Moshae requested my help cracking encryption on a remnant ship she found. Eventually, that led me to the repository. I've been handling data encryption here ever since.
I take it you help run this place.
Nalan and I are Avela's assistants. It's been strange getting used to that.
Why?
Avela's much younger than the previous curator. She has a lot more energy. Sometimes I have to remind her to take a break. She's too passionate for her own good.
I'll let you get back to it.
Oh, it's you. I watched you land.
Hope you're not calling me it anymore.
You heard that. I apologize. I was ignorant.
What's your job around here?
Aelin and I help Avela with her studies. I specialize in restoration.
So you make relics look new?
Do as I can. I'm not a miracle worker, no matter what Avela says. She'll praise Ellen and I to anyone who will listen. Never had a supervisor like that before.
I'll leave you to it.
Alright. What is this? While we can't know for certain, theories about this remnant device suggest its function may be to convert rock and sand into nutrient-rich soil. And I can't scan it, because the odds are, you know, Sam could probably tell him what it was for. This pottery fragment is believed to be a ceremonial decoration from the ancient temples of Havana. Neat little jar of some kind. Oh, that looks cool. Archaeologists on Havarl recently discovered what they believe are pieces from the oldest structure as yet found on the planet. These fragments were literally uprooted by mutating vegetation rising from an underground cavern. Though the exact cultural nature of this find remains unknown, teams of researchers have recently established a permanent dig site to search for more clues. Well, now that Havarl's growth should be under control, thanks to the vault, they should be able to unearth like a huge amount of stuff, right? This is some... first contact with the Ket varied among our homeworlds. While the Ket sought to confuse Havarl with silence, they murdered the ambassador on Vold. They turned our worlds against each other and took advantage of the confusion and chaos. It's important for us all to learn from this moment in history and to present a united front in the face of adversity. And then this is empty for some reason. Coming soon. Okay. Anything not particularly? Nope. It does. This fragment is from a wall of the governor's public residence on Vold, which was destroyed by Ket bombardment during the initial invasion. The governor, all staff, and most of her immediate family were all killed in the blast. When Vold stands liberated, this relic will form the cornerstone of a monument to those who gave their lives defending our home. I'll finish with these before talking to her. Until recently, we knew this was a Ket tool, but didn't understand its purpose. Scholars have recently determined it's used in the exaltation of our people. Though it may be difficult to look at, it's important we learn and understand exaltation to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Was that used in it? I thought you just used, like, needle things. Oh, well. In the time before the Scourge, Angaran pilots wore helmets while covering the vast distances between planets. It's speculated that remnant technology was used in this helmet's construction, attracting the Scourge's technology. So that's actually the helmet we found. This dagger dates back nearly 4 centuries to the time just after the Scourge appeared. Faced with a technological dark age, our ancient ancestors learned to fight with and hunt without the use of advanced weaponry. It's a cool looking knife. I mean, it's still clearly made out of advanced materials, but... Alright, let's see. You wouldn't believe all that's happened since Pathfinder Rider landed on Aya. I'm sure you know about the Moshae's rescue, but I suspect you've only heard the official version. Ephra and his resistance like to claim credit for bringing her home, but I know for a fact they never could have accomplished it without the Pathfinder. People fear these new aliens will turn out to be like the Ket. Don't listen to them. I feel in my spirit they've come to help, and you know I'm always right about these things. I wish you could see some of the interesting relics we found on Nevarl and elsewhere. I'll bring images next time I visit. Also, I'm not seeing Atu anymore. It was nothing particular that ended things. We're just too different. Don't worry, my work still brings me all the happiness I need. I mean, technically, we didn't come to help. We did come to colonize, but I mean, since we're here, we'll help.
Pavawa, I'm glad they finally let you into the city. You deserve it. This is Aya's Cultural Museum and History Archive. It's small, but you've already made it brighter. Pathfinder, I've been studying the helmet you found, and it's got me thinking. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even know that helmet existed. What if that's not all we're missing? There could be a wealth of history just out of our reach. So, I'm requesting your help again.
Just tell me what I need to do.
I've led digs on every Angaran homeworld, but there are places I've missed, areas only a Pathfinder could go. There could be relics sitting untouched for centuries because no one could reach them. What I ask is this: if you ever find yourself in an area like that, you keep an eye out for artifacts.
I already found one. Take a look at this.
This is unfamiliar to me. It does resemble an Angara, but it looks so strange. It's clearly centuries old. Is it an artistic interpretation, or is this what we really look like? The implications. Pathfinder, you may have discovered our earliest artifact yet.
You know, in all honesty, if it wasn't for her weird little eye thing there, I would probably go to Romancer, but I don't know, it's just something about it. It makes me uncomfortable to look at because it's like almost touching her eye, and it's just, and when things get that close to somebody's eye, it just bugs the fuck out of me.
If I'd known what a big deal it was, I would have let it ride shotgun.
No harm done. It's seen centuries of wear. One bumpy ride won't change much.
This is quite a place.
It feels like home to me. Sometimes I think I should move in here. But it's got a long way to go. Someday we'll fill it with relics of the past, each one telling a story. And my people will come here to learn. And to remember.
You'll get there.
With enough hard work, yes.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels.
I don't know if she puts it up, because like that was that doll that we found in the fuck, I can't even remember what the hell it was called. Also, this here's the other door that we could have went through. In the underground
you are the
place,
subject
whatever.
of a detailed scan by an Angara standing nearby.
Maybe I should introduce myself. Hello there.
I'm working.
You scanned me pretty hard. That wasn't your way of saying welcome, stranger?
I wanted to be discreet.
Noted. What's your interest in me?
You're an alien on my homeworld. Why wouldn't I be interested?
You could have asked.
Fine. Will you submit to a full spectrum analysis of your biology?
Are you looking for something specific?
We share many external similarities. I want to learn if that holds true internally.
You haven't even told me your name.
Danfra, biological researcher. This is my home.
I can't fault you for being curious. Scan away.
I didn't think you'd comply.
I'm full of surprises.
That you are. When we face extinction, family is our final comfort. Do you understand that?
I came to this galaxy with my family. I lost my father on the day I arrived.
But you still carry on his legacy. He knew that, in the end. Family is everything. Not only the one we have now, but the ones that follow us. What will your family look like in 5 generations? 10? How many of you will there be?
You're worried there'll be more of us than you.
I have 23 grandchildren. I want to know what their grandchildren will inherit. Goodbye, Pathfinder.
Look, if you have 23 grandchildren, odds are there's going to be more of you than us. Alright, last set of things here. You proved you can fight the Ket on Vold. The resistance doesn't impress easily. Stand with us. Together we will take this war to the enemy's home. We'll make them feel terror. We'll show them despair. We will break the Ket, and when that's done, we'll share the rewards of victory. We've seen members of your species act with violence, greed, and selfishness. We found evidence of your people attacking and stealing from one another. Why do you hurt each other when only the Ket stand to gain? If our people are slow to trust you, it's because you can't understand why, or we can't understand why some of you seem determined to hurt others. Even the Ket stand united in their cause. Why don't you? I spent my life wondering what other beings might exist. Your people are nothing like what I imagined, and I'm glad for that. I thought I was long past being surprised in my life. My sons and daughters draw pictures of you and ask me all sorts of questions. They want to know everything about you. We hope you feel the same way. There's so much we can teach each other. Help arrives when you least expect it, and your arrival was unexpected. You came to Aya wounded and in need, and we didn't welcome you. You went to our other worlds and helped our people overcome terrible challenges with no promise of reward or friendship. You wouldn't do that if there wasn't a goodness at your core. You want to understand and be understood. This is the start of a great alliance. See, now all that, while true, you know, it's like, once again, it's a, you know, it's a case-by-case, person-by-person basis. Not all of us are good. Some of us are real assholes.
What do you think?
I could get used to this.
We take turns living here. You can see why.
I love pretty much everything about it.
I love the air, the breeze. And one day we'll have more places like this. I have faith.
See, now they say that this place is habitable and that there's multiple ones, but like when you look at it from the outside, like when you look way out there to that, right, like that doesn't look habitable. I mean, they have freaking fire tornadoes out there seeming constantly. So like you really would expect the vault to be malfunctioning somehow so that like it's only affecting this small portion, but according to them there are lots of places that you can go, or according to the mayor lady there. All right, so that scan by the Angara was actually one of the things that I remember being just like random walk by and it happens. But we were already past the 45 minutes, so all we have left to do is check in with the Resistance headquarters and that, so we'll do that next part. Next part will still be a lot of talking, because we'll head in, we'll do the Resistance headquarters, which, to be fair, there isn't that much talking there, and then we'll head back to the Nexus, do some chat up there, talk to everybody on our ship to see if they have anything new to say now that another main mission is complete. So yeah, like I said, next part, still going to be a lot of talking. And for all I know, the part after that will also be a lot of talking, but we'll just have to wait and see. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for some more.